All right, let's go. Back to you with yet another episode of Two Plant-Based Brothers. I am William the teacher, and this is my brother.
Daniel Nwanek, that's me. I'm Beard on the Trail.
There
Hello.
he is, beard on the trail. So before we get into today's topic, I do want to mention something we talked about last week. And Daniel mentioned that if last week's episode was our top viewed episode,
Yep.
that we would talk more baseball. And so after 3 days, just in case anyone's wondering, yes, that was our top performer in a 3 day period in the first 3 days of a video. So not going to say it's the top one, but it seems to me people want more Padre Dodger content.
Hmm.
So, we are two plant-based brothers, so not sure how much we're going to do it, but the people have spoken. Uh,
Yes, they have.
yeah.
I was looking at the views and obviously older videos. I think I have some higher view
Oh,
total,
definitely.
right?
Yeah.
But to your
Mhm.
point, the biggest spike at the initial, right? So maybe it was the thumbnail grab, huh?
Yeah, it could be. Oh, no. Anyway, let's get into it. We're going to talk about something kind of, definitely, I'm going to be personal
Mhm.
about this and, just sharing our own experiences in doing certain things. And I'm going to stick to not calling it crash diets, but doing something for a period of time where there's a goal in mind
Yes.
and what happens after that.
Yep.
And so I'm going to speak really about the things that I've given up for Lent and how after Easter, what's happened, right?
Right.
And these kinds of things. And I think anybody who's been on, some kind of crash diet or some kind of short-term fitness program may have experienced these things. So you guys let us know if there's anything that you've gone through, but we'll talk about it. And Daniel, why don't you chime in here?
Absolutely. I'll chime in as we kind of get into it, but certainly have had my fair share, not just in Lent, right, specific, but fair share of, temporary goals and then reaching it and then the after effect.
Yeah. Yeah. So this we thought about because I don't know if you've seen it in my face, but I feel like I've gained at least 10 pounds
And
since post Lent.
okay.
And for those who were wondering, didn't watch the Lent episodes, I was pretty much whole foods, plant-based for Lent, which is extremely restrictive, but I do feel is probably the best diet
Hmm.
that anyone could have, to be honest with you. I think you get everything you need, all natural things. I really cut out different preservatives and things like that. But
Hmm.
since then, it's been like, okay, Easter, okay, oh my, let me get back on the potato chips, back on the snacks, the crackers, and even cookies and things like that, which have not been good for me. And
Hmm.
so now I've seen it in these last 2 months or so, and really trying to get back into what I was pre-Lent, which was a pretty decent thing. Not 100% plant-based or
Hmm.
100% whole foods, 100% non-processed, but learning to use these things in moderation again, instead of just going crazy. Oh, Easter's over. But
Yeah.
once you go crazy, and it's like it's something I think a lot of people can really attest to is everybody's working for the weekend.
Yeah.
I think there's
Binging.
a lot of people who have said it's the weekend, it's okay, I can have 12 beers, right? And then the weekends go into Monday Night Football, these kinds of things.
Thursday night football.
Football season, I think, is hard for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Our oldest brother, I won't mention his name, he liked to say, "Oh, I give my liver Tuesday night off."
Just Tuesday.
Tuesday night off. So I don't know. I'll let him speak for himself. But Daniel, have you ever experienced something like this? I mean, I think that you even mentioned here that after denying yourself tortillas, that you went a little crazy after Easter on
I
tortillas.
had tortillas today. I have tortillas every single day, right? Whether good for me, not good for me. Yeah, getting back into the swing of my normal eating habits, which aren't necessarily the best, right?
Mhm.
Totally. Caffeine's another one. I got caffeine right here in front of me that I'm still sipping on. And that was another kind of sacrifice during Lent, that I gave
Mhm.
up, and now I'm kind of back at it. Though not as much, but I can completely relate with that overindulging after a sacrifice. And to
Mhm.
your point, it becoming then the new normal, which
Yeah.
then becomes more difficult to, wane to kind of get back, back to better habits. I don't know what it is. I just know I've been dealing with it my whole life.
Mhm.
And whether it being from a diet, and I can relate a lot of this to exercise programs. I had done P90X. I'd done Insanity, which is the Shanti thing. I've done a lot of those versions of them where basically 90-day, 60-day programs where I would sacrifice a lot for this particular goal. I would sacrifice, and the diet was part of it too, only having so many calories, watching what I eat. But after those 90 days, 60 days, when I got actual results, a month later, I was just kind of going right back to the swing of my old habits, gaining the weight all back again and losing the fitness too. And so I found, at least for me, not having an end date on any particular thing helps. And just saying, hey, this is a lifestyle change too. But I think connecting that to making sure it's not that much of a restrictive sacrifice.
Yeah.
Because I think once you go too restrictive, your mind's already like, oh my God, I'm not in it mentally. And that's the
Mhm.
hard part. So have you had any of those big changes?
No, I think that like any kind of routine that I get into, as long as I stick with that routine,
Hmm.
then it becomes normal. And that's
Yeah.
the situation. It's very difficult for me to say, okay, well, it's the weekend, right? And then that weekend just bleeds into something else. And
Yeah.
and it's another thing where it's just like if you're going and you're building up something, let's just say fitness wise, right? And it
Yeah.
becomes part of the routine. And then one week you go, oh, you know what? I've been doing so good. I've been doing so well recently. I'm going to take this week off.
Yeah.
It's really tough to get back in there. I remember I took a week off from the gym in 1996 and I haven't been back. So
Let me check the calendar. 1996 is 2026, so we're talking 30 years.
maybe, yeah, yeah. But no, I've done these different things where, I've wanted to build up. And so like even when I started walking, started incorporating some running into it to
Hmm.
where I was running a little bit and a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And then I got to the point to where I said, I'm just gonna walk.
Right.
I'll start the running thing again next week and never really got back into it.
Yeah. And that's the other part I think where I think goals are helpful too, right? So the goals are helpful of like, ooh, I want to achieve this thing and I work towards it. That's the goal. And I think I was taught a while back from a coach of mine, a life coach of mine, that when you get to, I want to say he said like 60 to 70% of that goal. And this could be, a weight, this could be muscle, this could be distance, right? Whatever that goal is then it's time to set your next goal, right?
Mhm.
And so as long as you're constantly intentionally moving to the next thing of a next target and then like sitting down with yourself and just saying, okay, I'm 60% of the way of this one. What's the one after that that I want to achieve? And then let's just use the example of fitness, right? If it's like I want to run the, 50 miles, right? That's my first one. Then okay, get halfway there, more than halfway there towards it and realizing, okay, what's the next one and by when? And then working towards it. I think that's helpful. I tend to forget. And maybe it's intentionally self-sabotage. Maybe it's boredom. Maybe it's like I'm not in love with the process. Do you ever think
Mhm.
about that? I know I think about that a lot of like, do I enjoy what I'm doing? Do I find enjoyment
Yeah.
out of it? Or is it just like I feel like I'm not having fun about it? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that like when it comes to quitting something that you enjoy, um, it's one of those things where you can't imagine it to be the rest of your life. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people struggle with that. And so I feel that when it came to alcohol, I just knew that this was going to be it.
Right.
And there was no end date with that, and I'm still there, right?
Yep.
But when I gave up all animal products for Lent in 2021, I didn't go out and eat a cheeseburger on Easter. In fact, I never went back to meat. So it's weird for me to have that
You have two examples. Yeah.
juxtaposition of something where there is no end date and I can imagine my life, the rest of it. And the other one, there was an end date, but then I said, you know what? I can imagine this being for the rest of my life.
Right.
And just and doing it. So it's kind of weird. It just depends on the thing, I
Yeah.
guess. But for me, it's just like um, got to have measurable goals.
Yes.
Things that are actually that you're willing to do that and that you can see the process in it.
Hmm.
And what's the acronym that we always use for SMART goals, right?
Specific, measurable, obtainable, results and timely, results driven. I don't know what the R is.
Okay, I think it sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good. But it's just like when you set up these timely goals, these
Yeah.
smart goals for a period of about 47 days, 40 days and nights plus Sundays, there's still that end date. And I think
Yeah.
it can be a dangerous thing for me. And I don't know about anyone else out there. I let them share their comments, but we're just kind of talking about our journeys. And to be honest, right now, it's just like when I do that, and I got to find something to sacrifice that um, I can maybe plan after 20 days looking at it and going, can I do more?
Right.
Right. Has this been good for me? And I really think it was. I really think I saw a transformation during that time,
Hmm.
um, of eating better and
And what were
eating.
those specifics? Was it energy? Was it losing weight? Was it maintaining your health? Right? What was it that you said you felt or saw?
Well, see, that's the thing. I can't measure the weight
Mhm.
because I didn't weigh myself, but I
Okay.
could tell you, as I mentioned in the videos during Lent, that my clothes were fitting better.
Hmm.
Right? Although tend to wear very baggy clothes. These are still my fat guy clothes. So, uh, pardon that expression. I know that's going to offend some people.
You are talking
They're the
about
same
yourself.
clothes. Yeah, there's the same clothes I wore when I was 60 pounds heavier. So they tend to be loose fitting anyway. My wife hates when I wear these pants, by the way. She wants me to buy new pants, but I don't want to be wearing these tight jeans or something like that. It was skinny jeans. Anyway, so, but anyway, you feel more energetic, and I
Yeah.
couldn't measure that, right? Maybe you can, maybe you can't, but there was a feeling of less lethargy, right? Something that good natural foods can bring you.
Hmm.
And if I had the ability to be more moderate with
Yeah.
my snack consumption, then that would be great. It's difficult for me, and we mentioned this in the Blue Zone episode about
Yeah.
the 80%, and
Yeah.
that neither one of us know what 80% feels like.
Right. Today's a prime example. I did not know what it feels like, and I'm just now getting my. I would say like after, all the treatment last year and cancer recovery and everything like that, like it's been a long journey getting my sweet tooth. I've always had it, but getting the actual snacking ability because of my dry mouth, I
Mhm.
feel like it's back and not in a good way, William. Not in a good way whatsoever. Like I
Getting
had
my
I
snacking
had
ability
six
back.
I had six Thin Mints before our call today.
Yeah.
And so like and I'm thinking about it at the front of my mind of like this isn't good, but stress level right now is pretty high. Just work and life in general just feels kind of high. And so that has always been my coping mechanism. I mean, definitely alcohol used to be in some points and some, but food has always been a coping mechanism for me. I know I'm stress eating, like when I realize, oh crap, how much did I just stuff down my snarfle down my face right now? Which snarfle is a great word. I don't know if people use it a lot. I know I get a visual reaction when I say it from you, so I love it. I love saying it.
Yeah, I
So
don't know if snarfle's a word though. I mean,
I'm making
scarf
it
down is the phrasal verb there.
snarfle, snarfle. It's gonna
Do you
catch on.
snarf? Do you snarfle down, or you just snarfle?
I snarfle down.
Yeah,
Snarfle it
I
up.
think you're
I
making
snarfle it
stuff
up.
up.
I snarfle it in. I don't snarfle it out.
You can shovel it in, or you can scarf it down. Internet, please let me know. The
Uh,
33 people watching this.
yeah,
Um,
hopefully 34 by now.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. So
anyways, binge eating has been a problem for me. It continues to be a problem for me. I think I had a good thing going with dry mouth of not being desirable because of just like dry things. It was hard to chew and eat. Now that it's kind of dissipating, I gotta watch out because I will easily be able to gain weight, too much weight, very quickly. So I'm kind of it's front of mind. So I think it's timely that we're talking about this.
Yeah. And so I do want to get to something to where you had to give stuff up, not by choice, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't mind getting into the recovery part of the cancer treatments, right?
Yep.
Um, you did have some things taken away from you. And one of those is exercise.
Hmm.
So in that case, do you feel once you kind of recovered and you started building back up, do you feel that you have returned to pre-cancer exercise?
No,
Not yet.
no, yeah, and mostly because I haven't put in the time to get back there. I know I'm capable of it. I know where my body is now. I can do it. My wife and I did a kind of like a GTX like class where it's cardio and then you have weights to kind of like HIIT, whatever it is. And I did it and I was like, holy crap, like I can still do this. I definitely felt like exhausted afterwards, but not in a bad way where I couldn't finish it. So I know I'm there. I just haven't dedicated the time to put more for my cardio specifically. Now I do have a race that I want to do with my daughter. We're going to do a 10K. So that's coming up in September. So I do want to start training for that. So during the summer, and running, get back at running. But currently where my body's at, I'm just not there because I haven't trained. I
Mhm.
haven't gotten back in there. And mostly that is my own excuse of being busy between travel, work, and the kids' sports and stuff. I just haven't made time.
Yeah, but this is the thing that I think a lot of people can relate to, and it's not coming back from cancer. Not a lot of people can relate to that, but
Mhm.
the getting busy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And that's the thing is like I was saying is it's like you take something out, stop going to the gym for a week in '96 or whatever. That's a joke.
yeah,
But yeah, it's just like I don't blame having children as to why I stopped going to the gym. I could have
yeah.
worked that in, but I didn't make it a priority and it hasn't been. And so, you got a lot of things to juggle, especially with small children.
Yeah.
And there's a lot going on, and you're a busy guy, but
And I
you,
don't take any of that as an
yeah,
excuse. That's the thing. I
yeah,
think, my wife's a good example of fitting a workout in. Like she'll do
mhm,
Pilates like while we're watching Survivor, like just on the thing. And meanwhile, I'm just sitting on the couch snarfling something down, right? And so like there's no excuse for me. And William, I don't know if like that makes it like for me that makes it even more spirally of like
mhm.
not being proactive about it because then I just get on myself. I'm like, oh man, like there's no excuse. Like, what are you doing? And then I just feel worse about it for myself. Like I just put myself down into it. It's like, you can do it. And so then my reaction are like, okay, I just won't do it. Just give up.
I mean,
And
that
so
unfortunately, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's just like, well, I already had six Thin Mints, so I might as well have six more.
yeah,
I've already failed.
right.
And that's a hard thing. And I think that sometimes when people are looking at doing the things that we have done, whether it's sobriety, whether it's going, giving up meat, whether it's giving up animal products, it's just like they go out one night, next thing you know, they have a couple of drinks, they say, well, that streak's over, so I might
Right.
as well just keep drinking.
And honestly,
Or
I
having
know
a
if
steak and going like, well, that streak's over, I might as well just keep it going. I that's what's happened to me with
yeah.
potato chips and and cookies.
Agree. Yeah. Well, and I know that I feel pretty confident that the day I do wake up and say I want a steak and I eat a steak, I'm pretty sure my mind's going to say that. Hey, streak's over, just like whatever. Forget about
Mhm,
being vegan anymore. And
mhm.
not counting that out, right? Never say never, but I feel like that's what's going to happen. I also feel the same would happen with alcohol at this point where I'm at in sobriety. And so that in the front of my mind, more or less towards the front of my mind, keeps me from doing it, keeps me from actually doing it. So then, like, how can we apply that same thinking
Mhm.
to these other things that I think we know are good for us, and things we know are good for us, like regular exercise and the like, and then adapting that more as a way of life versus a short-term goal.
Yeah. So very quickly, and because we've been quite serious, and we're coming up on about 20 minutes right here. You did mention Survivor. I do want to state that I thought that I had won going into the final. I thought I was way ahead of everyone else. Maybe I
I
got some bad information.
who won?
Oh, you don't know?
No, I've like the family pool. I know who won Survivor, but
Yeah. Oh, you don't know who won the family pool?
no, nobody texts me those updates.
Maybe
Did I
just because I live with the person who keeps track of
did
it,
I
but
win and I just don't know it?
you were nowhere near. I pulled out way ahead of everybody. And once again, I'm the control group. I know nothing about the show. But no, our mother won for the fourth time.
I'm surprised she didn't brag to me. She usually
Yeah,
does.
so maybe she doesn't know. Maybe this will be new news. Maybe I'm breaking
Surprise.
stuff here.
Surprise.
Breaking news
Mom, you won the Survivor pool. I know you're watching because you're one of our
again,
loyal watchers.
again. So I don't know. I maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I was told, by
That's hilarious.
insiders. So
Insiders is funny.
yeah.
They
Anyway,
never tell me I lose, so I just assume I do.
yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know why there wasn't a text message
Yeah.
sent about this. Maybe people are tired of congratulating
The
Nana.
same person.
Yeah, it's like whatever you won again, big deal. It's like, oh, the Dodgers won the World Series. Okay, big deal. Who
Yeah,
cares, right?
point, right? Move
So,
on.
and speaking of that, by the way, for
Say that again.
Tatis hit one home. Tatis hit one home run.
Yes. Yes, he did. Has he had another one since? Okay.
It doesn't matter. Tatis hit a homer. The offense picked up. Manny did something. Merrill did something. They lost 2 out of 3. So who cares?
Yeah, they won one.
Yeah, 1-1. So anyway, so the moral of the story is each of us has to decide for ourselves where we want to be and to set these measurable goals, but do be careful about the short term stuff. If
Mhm.
if it does affect you, like that's something I'm realizing,
Same.
right? I'm 51 years old. I'm still realizing these things, and it could be that total abstinence from something may be the only way for me to do something,
Hmm.
right? Um, one cookie turns into two, turns into six,
Yep.
right? One handful of chips turns into a bag. I don't
Yep.
know. I'm just talking about myself, but it's something that you can reflect on your own habits, things that you're going through. It could be whatever you're working on.
Yeah.
Think about it, reflect, and if you have any questions, let us know. We'd be happy to help.
Please do. I want to hear about him.
Yeah. All right, Daniel. Anything else you want to say on the subject of getting off the crash course?
No, I think it's just the beginning of the topic, to be frank. I think it's a journey that we're both on, and I think a lot of people are on it with us. I don't think we're unique in the world in that. So
Yep.
we're here to relate to anybody who is also going through it. So,
Yeah.
and happy to be a part of it and finding ways in which we can not survive but thrive in a new frame of thinking.
Yeah. So once again, like, subscribe, all that. But let us know, have you ever
Ever.
gotten back on that horse after like going away from something, whether it be an exercise routine that you quit, but then you found a way to get back onto it,
Mhm.
or something that you had given up, but then you started doing it again that wasn't good for you, but then you were able to get rid of it again.
Yep.
What was the process? How did you do it? Was it simple as saying no, or were there steps that you took to do it? Um, Love to hear from you. That would be great.
Yep.
And if you want to come on the show and tell us more, that would be great too. So
Yep.
we're looking for a guest, guys. So
Yes. That'd be lovely.
that's it. Have a wonderful day.
Peace.